Kia everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are going to play a game. The M&M container is back out, so that means we are randomly drawing a page for a new page in a little touch of color count series. So this is episode 2. If you've not seen episode 1, I'll make sure I link it down below. But basically this series, which is inspired entirely by Winter 89 colors, who I will also tag down below, is a series where I randomly draw a colouring book from my collection. This container holds every single colouring book in my collection. Whatever book I choose, I must immediately begin to work in. There is no skipping it because it's not the season, or I'm not in the mood for that book, or no. Whatever book we pull, we take it off the shelf, we flick through it, we choose a page, and we put a little bit of colour on it. It is not about finishing the page, it's about falling back in love with my collection and touching those books that maybe I just haven't gotten to in a while. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting in here and choosing another page to work on. I had a bit of time and I want to colour, but I genuinely do not know what I want to colour, so this is the perfect opportunity to pull one of these. Now, there are technically 2 situations where I can skip. One, my completed books are also in here because I printed out basically my spreadsheet list. And so if I accidentally draw one of my completed books, obviously I can skip that because it's a completed book. That is going to keep going until I find all 3 and pull them out of here because, yeah, I don't know where they are. The second one now is, because this is episode 2, I can technically skip any books that I pulled in episode 1, which was Nature Mandalas by Malcolmini Chatsapanagatu or World of Colour by Kirby Rose Arms. If I want to, is the caveat there. I don't want to work in the same books. You know, we never finished the World of Colour page, so maybe I want to keep working in it. But yeah, I can technically skip previously worked books in this series or completed books that accidentally made their way in here. But other than that, there's no skipping. I don't think we're going to get any duplicates, so I'm not really worried about that. But yeah, there's no skipping it because it's a Christmas book and we're in the middle of May, or, you know, things like that. So yeah, I'm excited to get in here to draw another random book and see where we go, because I have no idea what I want to colour today. I just want to colour. Ooh, it's a fat one. Some of the pieces of paper are a bit chunkier because either they've got a lot of illustrators or long artists. This one has a lot of illustrators because it's a Colouring Heaven. This is Colouring Heaven Bad Girls Specials Assorted Artist. It's got images by Daria Kakazoi, I never know how to pronounce that one's name. Yeah, this one's got a lot of different illustrators. So how about I go and pull it up off the shelf and we'll see what we can do. I'm excited. I haven't worked in this issue for ages, actually. I haven't worked in a Colouring Heaven for ages. So yeah, this is cool. I'm excited to pull that out. Okay, so that is that one. We can fold it back up. So if I got this one again, because there's so many different artists in it, I might be tempted to work in it because it's got 11 different artists in here. So yeah. Alright. These ones are Daria Kakasoi. Like that. That's quite sweet. I didn't grab milk marks, did I? That was smart. Right. Got a couple. Definitely see doing this sweet little one. The candy. Halloween candy. I believe this issue was actually released for Halloween one year. Sorry, I'm filming this at night, which means some of my lighting can be a bit shadowy, but yes, I have done this one, Frog Girl by Rosa, Rosysowamama. That's how you spell their name. Never know how to pronounce it, but they have a really gorgeous style. Also done the frog by them as well. Did this for Mermaid last year. Little Golf Girl by Matt Davidson. And that one wouldn't be too hard because it's so grayscale. I could just get the alcohol markers out. Be nice to clean up this edge too where I've got spillover from the previous page, but I don't know. Maybe actually, because I was about to say it's, you know, it's obviously meant to be Wednesday, but no, you don't have to do it as Wednesday, and I think it could be fun to do it with my own colours. Nice simpler one too, with just the alcohol markers. This is Lendl art. I do love that kitty. I don't know if I'm feeling the rest of the page. I mean, I can just colour the kitty. I do kind of love this one too. It's very much my aesthetic though. I love colouring portraiture. I'll mark it. One is to mark anything that might inspire, anything that might get us to get some colour on the page. Right now we're into Anna Marine. I've done this one here. I did that with water-based markers actually, as watercolour. Do like that one too. You can see that one as well. I'll just be figuring out a background. Oh, and that one too. That was quite cool as well. Oh. Need more bookmarks. Previously, the other issues I didn't have that many bookmarked, but here I could almost just bookmark that one too, because I also like that one. It's also got kitties. I also like that one. I also like that one. It's basically all of them. This one is by J.M. Liotti. I think I did that one on a car trip. And then we have Mayumi Ogahara. Again, I do love the portraiture, but I think the other portraitures captured me a bit more, though that could be fun to do some backlighting. Same with that one. Same with that one. But yeah. And then this is Mitzi Sato Whiff. That's so cool. This is another water-based markers one actually, for the whole thing. So up to Lisa Metrokin. In Yuriko Shuro. I can kind of see that one too. Ink splatter background and then just pencils. I can kind of see that one. Yeah, just some interesting broken doll aesthetic for this one. Got Christopher Lovell. These are some intense grayscale ones here. Love the kitty. Yeah, none of those ones are really calling to me. That one I kind of dig, but I just don't know how I would colour it apart from just alcohol markers. And that's not really what I'm feeling right now. Okay, so we've got a few marked in here. We've got Halloween Candy. Little Golf Girl. Which I'm quite leaning towards that one. Gonna remove Batgirl. I've got quite a few portraits on the go at the moment, so I feel like that's not the vibe. Basically this whole situation by Marie. No, I'm still getting pulled into this little goth girl. I think we're gonna go that route because I like the idea of pulling out my alcohol markers and just having a bit of a, again, just a bit of a brainless day. It turns out all I want to do is some alcohol marker work. So let me go grab my alcohol markers and we will get into the page. Okay, managed to drop half my markers on the ground, but should be all good now. Alright, so I know I want to start with purple for the chair. Now, I can't tell you like brands of alcohol markers. Like this one I can tell you is Electroset Flex marker, but that's because they're very old. And it's just an assortment of random markers. So yeah, that's why I just say alcohol markers. It's not like they're Ohuhus or anything. I do have Ohuhus. I tend to save them for not a situation like this where I'm just going to be flat colouring with the markers and then I might go over to do pencil shading or something. Like, I don't need to blend, so I keep the Ohuhus for, like, for example, Christine Karen's work when I am trying to blend or different things like that. Right, now we're on to the big open space. We use the big open-sided marker. Yeah, it's been a busy day here. We had the family around, which means both my brothers and their wives and grandkids slash, nibblings. So yeah, I've had a busy day of cooking and prepping and cleaning, and now I do be tired. So it's like I wanted to colour, I wanted to sit down to colour, and I just wasn't sure what to colour. And it's like, well, hang on. We have a thing for this. And the first part just got released today as well, which is exciting. So yeah, there's already been a few comments and people seeming to really enjoy the series, which warms my heart. So I'm really excited for more. So I was like, well, I might as well jump in and start filming the next one. They take a while to film, this is filmed over quite a few days. So it's not a one day sort of thing. But yeah, I really enjoyed the last one and I'm really looking forward to see what we create. And as I said tonight, it was perfect because I did not know what I wanted to colour. So this made the choice for me. I am shocked that this purple is still going at this stage. It's such an old marker. Well, for certain it would be done. Alright, we also have the seat. We can put away the chisel end. Do this without catching the dress. So yeah, I've eaten way too much, as usually happens when the fam comes over, so I'm feeling incredibly full. I made a big breakfast this morning, so it's just like all around very full. The joy of that, I don't have to make dinner. That means I get to colour. Oh, evening. That being said, I imagine I'm going to be going to bed relatively early tonight. Okay. Now I do also have another random purple out here because I picked that up at the same time. I'm going to give her purple lipstick because that's fun. Right, I have some random colours beside me because that's what was accidentally pulled out. I think we'll do dark brown, but we also have this reddish brown. So we're going to use this reddish brown for the dynamite here. That's just, you know, oh so chilling under her chair here. Which I did not even notice until now. And just had an idea. I wonder if I can find a yellow. Oh, that might be a bit of a mission. So it might be a mission. It's in like the first bundle I pick up. Because I'm just noticing cat with no eyes, but also the chair up here, and then you and you. I think that's fun. Maybe even these little creatures down here if it doesn't bleed too much. Yeah, one of them's already bled right out. That's okay. That just means you get to do the easier colouring. I think I've either coloured anything by Matt Davidson. I've definitely done Dawn Davidson because I've got a book that features both of them. It's another Colouring Heaven. Yeah, I think there's one of those ish artists that I've seen a few times in Colouring Heaven, but I haven't seen outside. They do a lot of steampunky stuff too. I'm sure they're in the steampunk issue that I've got. Okay. Oops, over the lines a bit there. That's okay. So yeah, I'm using the bullet tip for the smaller areas. Then we bring it in to the chisel for these larger areas to help fill it in quickly and evenly. Right, now I've got to be careful not to get those eyes. We can have that distinction. This marker is starting to run out a bit, but it should cope for the rest of it, hopefully. Not going too streaky. Alright, just doing that edge. Just colouring around the bat at the moment, because right now I could technically bring in a different brown. But we have kind of kept it all one colour. Start with the other side and work our way up and think about it. I mean, logically, if I was going to do that, I should have really brought in another. She's holding another knife. There's a surprising amount of weapons on this page. I just did not notice at first. Yeah, it's probably a bit weird that we're colouring in a Halloween book in May, but also, who says you can't colour in a Halloween book in May? Who says this is even a Halloween book, you know? Yes, because they produced it for Halloween one year. I just think it's a neat colouring book. Obviously, I've actually done a few in here, so yeah. Now we'll be able to add another one to the list soon. Oh, yeah, she's starting to run out. Obviously, I've just decided that we're colouring it brown too. Just going ahead, forgetting that I'm also recording. You can see me drifting into the zone very easily tonight. Because that's the sort of headspace we're in. Definitely tired. I am still not drinking caffeine either, else believe me, I'd go and make a cola or anything like that. But yeah, we're not drinking caffeine right now. I might go and make a hot cup of tea soon. That sounds like the right thing. Oh, okay. That marker dying on us is not ideal. But we got all the brown base. So now I have a warm grey. There's a cleaver under her chair, as well as the knife she's holding here. And then just so it's like really obvious it's not Wednesday, we're going to colour in her dress green. And yes, I know she's a little goth girl, but no reason she can't have green. I think that's part of the couch that I missed there. then I just pulled out some random markers. I do have a black. I'll just dot on for her eyes. Right, I did pull out a light green before too, so let's do her eyes. Alright, and this will be our black step-in for clothes and cat, because maybe the little goth girl is actually the cat and the little girl is just a distraction. After all, it does have spiky tail, probably a bit of a trickster, if not a bit of a displacer beast. Okay, so I need this purple back to do the little section down here that I missed. Then we need our green back to do the section in there that I missed. Good work for skin. You are quite pale, but not quite pale enough. Wrong end, I know. I'm doing a darker tawny hair colour, so I can lighten it with the pencils and it'll be like a dirty blonde colour when I'm done. Then we'll use that same grey on the tights, so you can have black leggings. And I coloured over part of the shoe, so also just give her black shoes. Just about, probably have been off frame slightly. Completely the professional as always. Right, now I just need something for the skin tone, really. You'll beat it. We want really, really pale here. And I'll probably pale it up even further. But we need to get a base layer down. we'll do black collar and trim. Oop, went a bit high there, but that's okay. Did also bleed onto the hands. So we'll push that away. So if you've ever dotted in there and forced the ink to go backwards, it's a little trick you can use when you need to use a little bit of that reddish brown that we used below on the dynamite. Just going over it with a bit of a bit of red. Okay, there's a lot of basting done except for the background, which the background is a lot. Oh, sorry, me just hitting my watercolors. Yeah, the background's going to be a lot to do with markers, even with it being markers. So I have some black watercolor here, and we're going to water that down quite a bit more. This will be our floor. I think there was some shimmer residue on this brush, because some of this has got a bit of a shine to it. I'm not opposed to that. I like my shimmer. See, I'm just doing watercolor because it's got more transparency and we can kind of keep some of that background detail, but it's not really clearly defined between the floor and the background. So we may have to, I mean, we're going to bring in a second color for the walls. Okay. Now, technically, I think we could get away with leaving the background as is because we've now done that base layer, but I also don't want to do that. No, you're not glass, sure, old acrylic. Just saying, because there's a real pretty purple colour in there. I was like, I wonder if I can lift that out and use that. However, I also happen to have purple watercolour. So, since it is not more watercolour like I suspected, we'll just dot in a little bit of purple. Old palette, because I haven't actually cleaned it properly, but that's okay. That will do the job. And then I'm also going to take just a little bit of that black, not much, because black goes pretty far. we want to basically dull down our purple. We don't want it like the vibrancy of the chair purple. Yeah, so it's more grapey now, almost, but it's also more, it's got a bit of, it's not like violet purple, you know? It's been toned down a bit. So because the background is messy in its pattern, we can actually be messy in our application too, and it's only going to help with that texture that's been created in the background, which is quite nice because you can kind of be a bit like la 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 is applying the background. Still don't want to like get it on everything. So yeah, these are just Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolors, by the way. The black is like Kmart & Co, which is like Kmart's in-store brand white label product, and then the purple is Winsor & Newton Cotman. I've had these for years. They do the trick. Not a huge watercolorist, but does the trick, you know? So you'll see that I'm going over the edges a little bit. For some of the chair, I would rather go over than leave a white edge because it is actually drying pretty clear. So yeah, it's probably better to go over the edge a little bit. Can't really tell. You'll be able to tell on areas where there's yellow though, so we don't want to do that everywhere. Like this bat's face. Yeah, now I'm just making sure everything's all covered up. Got all our edges all sorted. Cool. And that brings the focus right back into the center here, which is perfect. Just getting the excess off. So I'm gonna go and get my hairdryer and start blasting this to dry it out. Then we'll be back. Alright, so it's nice and dry. I've got a bunch of pencils in beside me that I'm going to use to shade in some details. I'm just using Caran d'Ache Pablos. It's sort of one of my go-tos when I just need a small set and just to finish off some details. make sure we add some fur texture to our kitty. Just following the grain of what the cat fur would be and just roughly going over it. Not being too pedantic here. There's my good pencil sharpener. One of these sharpeners works a bit better for the Pablos. Just this one here, so we can get right into those corners. Alright, so I've got, unfortunately, the closest for the skin tone I have is salmon pink, which is a little on the pink side normally. However, because they grayscale, that helps counteract the coolness of the grayscale. Actually doesn't look too bad. So we're just going over the shadows to warm them up just a touch. Normally we want our shadows cool, but they're too cool. A little bit of ivory, bring in those highlights. Then into the hair. Light grey, gonna do a little bit on the sword. This is how I tend to colour these things, is I do bounce around quite a bit, so it can be quite hard to be like, now I'm gonna do this, because I'm just like bounce. But it works in my brain, you know, like just bouncing all over the place. Dark grey, use that to define. Don't really need to deepen too much, but defining's good. I can add a couple of lines to our cat in the lighter areas where it might be getting a bit of highlight. Alright. The actual white, which really needs an extender. Really need to get my hands on some more Pablos. Been using them up. These were a gift many years ago from a beautiful soul, and they have been invaluable in being added to my collection. I really like them. They're getting more lighter hair tones. The black can also go into an extender. And then give her black shiny shoes. very, very carefully with some light grey. Just going to add in a couple, not a lot, but we are going to add in a couple of highlight strands to our kitty cat. And now one colour I'm very much missing in Pablo is a dark green, so we will need to use our black to really shade our green, but that's okay, it'll help tie it to our page as well. Use this to help define our edges and brighten up a couple of areas. I don't really know logically how this dress goes, but I think we're good. And then a little gem around her neck. Little eye shinies. Okay. I think that's it. Now we're getting a bit of reflect from this time of night, but I don't want to go like, I don't think the background needs any more. I don't even think the chair needs doing any. I have got a really dark purple. Is it the right? It is. Okay, I'm going to use this just to shade around here, and we'll just define her out. She does need some glitter because it's me. I'm thinking I might put a little bit of glitter on the lips, and on that red gem, but genuinely I think she's pretty much done. Like, she's a real simple colour, but because that grayscale is so intense, the majority of it's done for us, especially with the alcohol markers. I've still got the stripes on the socks. That's what I've got. Yeah, so it's really, again, it's not about hugely making it obvious, so just defining her out, but really subtly a little bit. Yeah, no, I really like that. Like, it's so simple, but it's effective. I don't think the chair or anything needs any details because it's really about her. So let's grab Stardust by Twinkle. No, Stardust by Stickles. Twinkle's another one in their range. But we're just going to put a little bit over that. A little bit over that. And boom. Once that dries down, that's everything. That was a really quick one. That's the joy of it, though. I wouldn't have done this page without it. Only thing left to do is to Posca around these edges, which will also cover up the blue overspill from the previous page. But yeah, fantastic. Completed page. Alright, it's another day. I have a cup of tea. It's delicious. It's a plum and boysenberry. And the M&M container is back, so it must be time for another lucky dip. Let's see what we are working on today. I feel like colouring something, but I just have no idea what I want to colour, so this is quite perfect. Alright, you seem to really want to come out, so let's take you. Ooh, Paula Brun, Amazon. Okay, not the book I would have thought to pick, but that's what the fates have chosen, so let's go grab it. Alright, so Paula Brun, Amazon. So we carefully roll this back up, put it back in the container. Alright, let's have a look. Have I got some bookmarks, Andrew? Sensible. I got one. Okay. Files of bookmarks. So this is a beautiful, beautiful book. I know some people have said that they're a bit grossed out by the fact that like there's things coming out of the bugs and creatures, but my understanding is that it actually represents the invasive creatures, and how they're destroying, like the invasive species are destroying the animal and the native species homelands. So I think it's quite cool. It's only secondhand. I haven't translated any of this. This is the one page I have done in here. This is just my little tester with the Gansai Tambi, then a little bit of polychromos on top. It's beautiful Marabou paper. This paper is stunning to work with, so this worked brilliantly. It also did not bleed through. You will see like it split on the gap where the binding is, so it followed the binding strings, but the actual page itself, there's no bleed through. So just on the gap there was some bleed. So let's make sure we stay in frame. I might actually zoom out just a touch. I was working on something else this morning and zoomed right in for it. I think we're actually right at it. Just me readjusting my cameras in the middle of a setup, a recording. It's fine. So at the back as well, it does actually have all of the animal and plant names. So there is actually some information in there about what they are. And straight away, I'm getting drawn to this. I quite like that with the empty background. I can see doing maybe some ink tints could be quite nice here. Something about the simplicity of that one's drawing me in. I do love the bird on this page though. I don't really want to do a big double. As beautiful as it is, I don't really want to do the big double. It's quite nice being contained in the little frame. Also really like the sneak. Gorgeous illustrations. Quite like that too. I quite like the bird. Get behind the bird. Again, I'd need to look up what kind of bird it is, but we get behind that one. I like these ones where it's just in the corner a little bit, and I feel like I could just like watercolor out a gradient or something. I'd also like the iguana. Froggy. Oh, fish. Kind of appropriate for mermaid. It's funny because in previous years I've only worked on mermaid stuff in mermaid, or like fishy and water friends. This time I'm just doing whatever inspires me, and there's plenty of water stuff, but there's other stuff as well. Capybara. Yeah, we're getting lots and lots done. Oh, I did say I didn't really feel like doing a double, but I could get behind the jaguar. It's got holes in it because they're disappearing. It's kind of cool. Mm. No, I quite like that too. To the, I like that one. I quite like that. With the like duckies and the water going back, and I don't think that won't take too long. You just got the leaves and the water and the ducks, and yeah. Gorgeously detailed book. Absolutely love it. Love having in my collection. I was really surprised this time I coloured in these how much I enjoyed them, especially because I struggle with Layla Julie, but I don't struggle with Paula Brune, and I think it's because there's that little twist to the animals of like the branches coming out and stuff like that, and I don't feel the need to. I don't know. I don't feel the need to be realistic, even though they are realistic. Oh, that's a cool crocodile. Oh, I do like that one too. I don't know. There's something about them. I think they're really neat. I think it's the story behind it too. And then that's the end. And that's when we get into their okay, so we've got our a flower here, which is I think that's meant to be orchids. Again, this is all in French, so I will need a translator. That's not where my translate is. Translate. Text language to English. Yeah, so orchids. Right. So that one's orchids. Which orchids are very, very pretty. They can have some fun colours. And this is an American Hinga. I don't know what that is. I don't like that one as much as our duckies though. The duckies here are definitely calling out to me. So the one next to it is a dolphin nose. Pink River dolphin, sorry. And then it's just a common duck. Okay. Okay. I'm just still really drawn to the ducks. Like I do like the orchids. And see, I could see starting on it, but when am I going to come back to it? Because flowers I have to be in such a specific mood for, and I don't think I'm in a flower mood. I can handle doing these leaves, so I think we'll go ducks. We'll go ducks. Okay. Next step. What are we going to work with? I do feel like ink tints would be really good here. Yeah, because I could do like watery effects, and yeah, I think we'll do some ink tints. I think I'll start on those leaves. I wonder if I can find a reference of those leaves. Let's just get set up here. I'll get my pencils and see if I can pull up some references of these leaves, and then we'll get into it. Okay, we are back. Got our ink tints, got my colour chart, got my paint water, all set up. So I have grabbed out iron green and apple green, and I'm going to use this to create a bit of a gradient on the leaves. So I'm going to do a yellow center, and I'm just going to work over the whole leaf. Not a yellow center, an apple green center. And then I'm going to do iron green around the outside, and where the two meet they should blend into a bit of a gradient. And then once it's dry, I'll come back over in those ridges and colour those in darker green as well. Right now I just want to start by getting our gradient in. Yeah, not worrying. The great thing about 18ths is it's pretty forgiving, so you don't have to be too pedantic with your pencil strokes, because it's gonna be all blended, and there's a bit of forgiveness in in the ink and the spread out. So yeah, unlike I find with Alberturas, I do have to be a little bit more pedantic about my pencil strokes. With Inktense, I can just kind of slap it in place and hope for the best. So yeah, and apologies that I've got the blue strap on. I just strapped my wrist up a bit today. We've just come back from gym, and sometimes we just need a little extra support, and that was the case today with my wrist. These ones that are at the back, I'm just going to do a layer of iron green. Because they're backwards, so we're just seeing the back of them, and they're just solid green on the back. I do love being able to just sort of quickly fill it in. Still want to make sure we've got, you know, a bit of pigment everywhere. I don't want any obvious gaps, but I love that I can kind of just be messy with it. Just let things be. Okay. Apple green in the center. Comes out of the water, around the edge. Just try and speed through this, and then we'll get to the activation side. Make sure we stay in frame, eh? So this one should be a bit wider of a gap because it's a bit wider of a leaf. So I hope you've all had a good day so far and are enjoying this series. I'm really loving the randomness of it. You just never know what's going to come out and what we're working on next, and I kind of enjoy that, you know? I mean, this is also another book that I would not gravitate towards. I don't think I've worked in them in any of my Paula Bruns since I did the first page in each of them when I first got them, and then I've just sat there. I don't think I've made my way back, so it's nice to have a reason to come back and show this book some love, which is the exact point of the series. Because by the time you're watching this, part one's gone out, and it's been out for a couple of days, and there's been a lot of feedback of people who really enjoy the series. I've been seeing a few people be commenting that they didn't know about Winter, and they've gone and given Winter a follow from it, which fantastic. Again, all credit to Winter for originating the idea. And if you haven't checked out Winter, their channel link and playlist to their parts will be down below. They've just released episode 8, which was a special episode because they've just moved. So, yeah, it was fabulous. It's a fabulous way to just spend time and have up while you're colouring. And, yeah, you just never know what direction it's going to take. And that's kind of the fun of it. You just never know what's coming up. Right. Scrabble, scrabble, scrabble. Oops, I never did the stem. Scribble in the colour. Yeah, you can see, I'm not exactly the most pedantic with it, am I? It'll be fun. Tea. Trying to make sure I remember to actually drink my tea before it completely dries out, cools down. Alright, so make sure we keep a tissue nearby to wipe off excess, and we'll start activating. So I haven't done any actual shading on here yet. We'll come in with another layer for shading. Right now it's just about filling out the colour. And so you can see here I'm starting with the dark and it's already blending into the light a little bit. Actually, I probably should start with the light and blend into the dark, because the dark will muddy the light, but the light will only get darker. So center out is how we should do it. No, solid green on this one. I just love the way that the colours change when you activate ink tints as well. Just that, I mean, it is the correct name for them. They are ink tints. Okay. Make sure we've got a nice little gradient of blend. So yeah, that's how I'm going to basically work on our leaves, is a little bit at a time, leaf at a time. Go through and activate them. And then once a bit drier, how are you going? Yep. I'm going to take the iron green directly. I'm just going to pick it up with my brush directly off and use that to deepen these lines in the center, which is why I need to wait till it's a bit drier so it doesn't bleed everywhere. Oops, I went over the edge there a little bit. That's fine. So yeah, you might not have the best vision of it now, but it'll be clearer on some of the bigger ones. And I'll use this to like deepen up any edges where it might have gone a bit light or stuff like that. So I might put you guys into time lapse for this one so that I don't have to talk all the way through it, because admittedly I just don't have anything to talk about, and it's going to be just a lot of me doing the same old activating and spreading of colour. So there's only so many times I can go, and now I activate this section, now I activate this section. And I'm sure some of you would be happy to sit for all that, but I think what we'll do is we'll put on some music, turn it into a bit of a time lapse, and speed it up a bit for you so you can see what it looks like a bit quicker than what I will see. If only we could time lapse in real life, it would be wonderful. I would get so much more done. Okay, I will see you on the flip side. Okay, so that is the leaves all done, and now I'm going to work on the branches. I have a mixture of natural brown and burnt umber. I'm mostly going to be using burnt umber, but just a little bit of natural brown to do all the branches. I still haven't done any like real shading or anything here. I'm just getting flat color down at the moment. And then I'm thinking I'll come in and shade on top once things are a bit more drier, but I just need to block out a few sections to begin with. So we're going to get these colors down. I'll put you back in time lapse. I may also, for these leaves at the back here, I might grab just like Ionian green and just do flat Ionian green just to get some color down on the page, and then we'll decide from there. good thing I checked the recording, because turns out when I was talking while doing some more of this, my voice wasn't recording, so hey. But all I was talking about was just colour choices and, you know, how I'm planning on doing this, including that I was painting over the flowers to make it easier, and I'll do the ducks in pencil, so it's fine. It happens. But yes, now I've done all this ink tint space, I'm now going to go in with polys and start shading a few areas. Also bring in a few colour reflex into the water a bit more. We've got a little bit of colour reflect, but I want a bit more. I'm debating if I cover the water in glitter, because it's me and I love to colour the water in glitter. Maybe I'll add in just a few spots or something. We'll see. But for now, I'm going to pull out some pencils and start shading. Okay, so we're basically almost done. What I just need to find is somewhere around here I have a paint pen. Somewhere. My desk is a little on the chaotic side right now. There it is. Alright, so there's a bunch of lines in the water to indicate movement and stuff. Now I'm not going to do all the lines, but I am going to every once in a while add in just a little bit of white Posca just to reiterate those lines. I don't want to go over all of them, but we're just going to highlight a couple of them. We'll not put too many back here because I want it darker back there and then lighter as we come forward, and that way too we can avoid anywhere where there might be shadows or colour reflex a little bit. Just kind of making this up. I also decided while I was doing the pencil work that I'm not going to glitter the whole thing, but I am going to glitter the flowers. I feel like just a little touch of that will just finish it off. And while I got this paint pen, I'm also going to just kind of clean up around some of these edges where we've overspilled, because that's one of the great things about paint pens on white paper. You can hide a few bits and pieces. Yeah, I don't want to go too over the top with the white, but I think just that little subtle white line throughout. And then I have my Mod Podge Extreme Glitter, which is my go-to glitter for most things. And we're just going to do the little flowers. This is completely unnecessary, of course, but it's me, and I love a bit of glitter on my pages. So for me, glitter is kind of essential, but yeah. But I do understand there's a lot of people out there that aren't a fan of glitter, and it doesn't always show up the best in pictures and stuff like that, but yeah, again, I'm a big fan. I like glitter. Alright, so what I will do is I will probably blast this with a hairdryer to help it dry along, but I'll leave it to dry and then I'll show you it once it's fully dry so you can see the beautiful glitter and the whole page. But that's the page done. So it'll be a little bit for me, but you'll see me momentarily. And there we go. You can see all that little bit of shimmer on the flowers. And I think I'm happy to call that one done. So, I hope you've enjoyed watching another episode of A Little Touch of Colour Counts. I am very, very appreciative of you being here. Again, I would like to shout out Winter89 Colours, who is the inspiration behind the series. And yeah, I didn't intend to finish 2 pages, but I finished 2 pages, and that's just the way the series goes sometimes. So thank you so much for watching. All the araha to you all. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!